Now we have come to part 2 of this presentation, which is related to business responsibility and sustainable reporting structure. The business responsibility and sustainability report structure is a significant initiative by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs in India to promote responsible and sustainable business practice. This reporting framework is designed to align with the National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, that is NGRBC, and international standards like Global Reporting Initiatives and United Nations Guiding Principle on Business and Human Rights. The BRSR replaces the previous Business Responsibility Report, that is BRR, and aims to provide a comprehensive and standardized disclosure framework for business to report on the environment, social, and governance performance. The key aspect covered in the BRSR includes the general disclosure information about the company's structure, operation, and business model. Next is management and process disclosure, details about the policies, process, and the governance mechanism related to ESG aspect. Third one is the principle-wise performance disclosure, specific disclosure and matrices aligned with the 9 principles of NGRBC, covering areas such as ethics and transparency, product sustainability, employee well-being, stakeholder engagement, and human rights, environment, policy advocacy, inclusive growth, and customer value. This is the last one, that is more concerned with the leadership indicator. So we can say this is not the last one, and we can explain you the related leadership indicator with the essential indicators. These leadership indicators are voluntary, which provides an opportunity for companies to present their impact and outcome. It is expected that in the next cycle of the review, questions from the leadership category would be moved to the essential category. So the company should see this is a pathway for transitioning to more comprehensive disclosure regime. The BRSR is designed to be applicable to all listed companies as well as unlisted companies above a certain threshold of paid up capital or turnover. It aims to promote greater transparency, accountability, and comparability in reporting on ESG performance, enhance stakeholder to make informed decisions, and assess a company's commitment to responsible business conduct. By adopting the BRSR, companies can demonstrate their alignment with the national and international standards, identify potential risks and opportunities, and contribute to the broader sustainability agenda. The framework encourages business to adopt a holistic approach to ESG aspect, integrate sustainability into their strategy, and continuously improve their performance in line with the stakeholders' expectations and global practice. Overall, the BRSR represents a significant steps towards mainstream adoption of responsible business practice in India, fostering a culture of transparency, accountability, and sustainability in the corporate sector. Now we shall discuss or explore each component one by one in detail. However, it should be noted that the principle-wise performance disclosure of essential indicators and leadership indicators are discussed simultaneously in this presentation. Now we shall discuss first section A, that is the general disclosure. Part 1 deals with the registration detail as their BIN, TIN, GST or PAN card number of the company with the complete address with the PIN code, phone number, email, website, including the financial year of reporting, status of listed company or not, with the authorized and the paid capital in the company. The second part 2, provide the details about the product being manufactured and services being offered by the company, and also brands associated with the product, services, and percentage of the total turnover contributed by each brand and the type of services. Part 3 provides the details of the number of operational units and offices located at national and international level. Further, it also provides details about the turnover by domestic location, that is by district where the office or the manufacturing unit is located as per the category. Here category is been classified into four as a category A within the 50 kilometers of the protected area, while the category B within 50 kilometers of the biodiversity hotspot, while category C where the high water stress zone as overexploited or critical by the Central Ground Water Control Board. Besides, it also gives details of the market served by the company at the national and international level, including the three top markets by contributor to the turnover. Part 4 describes details of the employee as a total and separately for disabled employee by sex, status of employment as a permanent or other than permanent, workmanship wise as is unskilled, semi-skilled, skilled and highly skilled, while Part 5 describes the details of the holdings and subsidiary and associate companies and cross-check whether the company participate in business's responsibility initiative of the parent company or not, making mandatory to all type of entity where it is suppliers or whether it is a supplier or it is a distributor, etc. Continuing from the previous slide for section A of the general disclosure, Part 6 describes the details of the activities being done under the corporate social responsibility, asking total turnover and the later narrating average of the net profit before tax for the last 3 years in INR, computed under 198 adjusted as per the Rule 21F of the company's CSR policy, rules of 2014. Further asking the location, name of the place and the district of the CSR program project executed, budget allotted and utilized, expenditure on administrative and overheads, and mode of amount spent in INR. Further, it also emphasized that the CSR report is according to the company CSR policy and are included in annual report and displayed on the company's website. Part 7 gives much emphasis on the transparency and disclosure of the complaints, asking about the various types of stakeholders, that is the community, business partner, investors, shareholders, customers, value chain partners and others, and their grievance redressal mechanism in place or not. For the current and the previous financial year, these informations are collected. It also gives details of high priority responsible business conduct and sustainability issue pertaining to the ESG matters that present risk on opportunities in business for material issues and the company approach to resolve it. Well, now we come to the section B, management and process disclosure. Part 1 deals at helping business demonstrate the structure, policy and the process with the 9 core business principles and validating it for as has the policy been approved by the board, whether the company has translated the policy into procedures, do the enlisted policies extend to the company's value chain partners, and name of the national and international codes certification label standard the company acquired. The next part of this section deals with the governance, leadership and oversight, where it gives details of the director responsible for implementing of the business responsible policy or policies. Further, it also explores does the company have the specified committees of the board, directors, officials to oversee the implementation of the 9 core business principles. Part 3 explores the details of the review and the National Guidelines on Responsible Business Conduct, that is NGRBC, by the company by exploring the performance against the above policy and follow-up action by whom it is and when it was done. Compliance with the statutory requirement of the relevance of the principles and rectification of any non-compliance by whom and when it was done by the company to carry out independent assessment or the evaluation of the working of this policy by internal or any external agency. That I mean authorized external agency. Part 4 seeks details of the stakeholder engagement, where the company are asked to describe the process of identifying the key stakeholder group of companies, mention the channels to communicable to the stakeholders, what are the channels through which the stakeholders can access the information, and mention the reason why the company does not cover all 9 principles for doing business. Now we shall discuss section C and D simultaneously, where principle-wise performance disclosure with the essential and leadership indicator are discussed together. Since Principle 1 largely focuses on the transparency, ethical accountability, it seeks information for essential indicators for the activities related to the capacity building of a company, highlighting the coverage by training and awareness program among the core employees, meeting dialogues organized on the responsible business conduct and sustainable stakeholder details of fines, penalty, punishment, and later gives details of the appeal revision made by the enforcement agency. It also includes number of complaint cases of bribery, corruption received, registered in the financial year, and a detailed disclosure of interest involving the members of board. The leadership indicator largely seeks details pertaining to the proportion and coverage of by awareness program on any of all the principal, have a full details of non-disputed fines, penalties imposed on the company by the regulatory and judicial bodies, provide detail of such instance, maybe up to 3 instances where corrective action have been taken on the above punishment, fines, penalty imposed, and also on corrective measures were taken against it. Besides, it seeks information of the company to have business continuity and related disaster management. While Principle 2 provides safe and sustainability about the product and services company provides, and hence the essential indicator largely focus on the life cycle assessment to assess the risk and then describe the mitigation strategy. This is followed by the percentage of expenditure done on R&D from the total capital expenditure to improve the environmental and social impact of product and process. It gives much impetus for sustainable sourcing and seeks the process in place to safely collect, reuse, recycle, and dispose where sale ends of life of your product based on the plastic or e-waste or any other. While leadership indicators for Principle 2 narrates improvement being in the environmental and social impact of the product and process due to R&D CAPS instrument, it seeks information for preferential procurement policy, information on impact were communicated to different stakeholders and their feedback, and finally seek information on recycled or reused input to the total raw material production in value of INR. Well, this slide discusses Principle 3 that promotes the well-being of all employees, that include disabled employees who employees and respect their integrity while doing business, and the essential indicators much focuses on the seek information on the health and accident insurance, maternity and paternity benefit, and for daycare center for permanent and other than permanent employees. Details of statutory dues, PF, gratuity, ESI, etc., and the minimum wages for the current and the previous year membership, details of the employees, information pertaining to inappropriate working groups and inappropriate action, especially for females, details pertaining to lost time injury frequency, that is LTIFR, and measures taken by the company. Health includes the health checkup and safety measures. While the leadership indicators seek information on value chain system in the company for their deducted and deposited value, corrosive action taken for the children or adolescent identified as employed in the establishment and the value chain, and also for the forced involuntary labors, corrosive actions against the complaints in discrimination and harassment, proportion of the accident affected employee, workman rehabilitate action, and detailed assessment of the value chain partners for sexual harassment, working condition, health and safety, discrimination at workplace, child labor, forced labor, involuntary labor, wages, and other. This slide discusses Principle 4 that deals interest and respect of the stakeholder for execution business. Its essential indicators seek information about type of stakeholder listed and describe the frequency of engagement with each of them descriptive role, while leadership indicators seeks information pertaining to vulnerable marginal stakeholders groups and corrosive action taken for them. The next principle is Principle 5, which gives much impetus to promote and respect human rights in business, seek information on proportion of employees provided rating of on human rights issues and policies, and explore their impact. Information pertaining to their remuneration and salaries, wages for all cadre of employees, including the board and directors, information on internal mechanism redressal grievance related to the human rights issues, and also include stakeholder groups, status of human rights complaint, and cross-check that the human rights requirement form part of your business agreement and contract. While the leadership indicator seeks information regarding the business process being modified or introduced because of the addressing the human rights grievance complaint, and details of the scope and coverage of any human rights. Well, this slide discusses Principle 6, highlights the environmental impact to protect and restore in business doing. It's essential to indicate largely seek information on the global environmental issue and information pertaining to the low carbon economy, validate the company exceed the limit prescribed under the relevant environmental norms, details of the environmental impact assessment, information pertaining to the material environmental risks to the business identified and the mitigation measure adopted, details of energy and the water consumption by the company, air emission and liquid discharge per unit production, and proportion of the solid waste generated and it recycled and sent to the landfill. The next is related the leadership indicators with this principle that largely thrives for the carbon emitted, that is for the scope 1 and 2 per unit of production, and revenue and turnover for each major product, proportion of renewable energy consumed to the total energy consumed, solid waste management relating to the waste generated to the production of the non-biodegradable waste to the total, proportion of recycled waste to the total waste generated, and the proportion of hazardous waste to the total waste generated for previous and the current financial year. Besides, it also emphasizes to describe the solid waste management practice adopted in the establishment, and also describe the strategy adopted by the company to reduce of hazardous and toxic chemicals. Lastly, it seeks information on all innovative technology solution initiatives undertaken resulting in the lower environment footprint by the entity. This slide discusses Principle 7, deals with public and regulatory policy engaging in the manner that responsible and transparent tends to deal essential indicator with the number of registration done with the professional bodies and information pertaining to adverse judiciary or regulatory orders for anti-competitive conduct by the entity, while the leadership indicator seeks information on public policies, position advocate by the company, and information of corrective action of anti-competitive conduct by the company taken based on the adverse orders from the regulatory bodies. In continuing, the principle 8 depicts the business should promote inclusive growth and equitable development, thereby essential indicator to explore social impact assessment and details of the ongoing rehabilitation and resettlement. Besides, it emphasized to details the CSR project undertaken by the company in designated aspirational districts and identify by the government bodies and seek information on the mechanism to receive and redress grievances of the community. Besides, it seeks details of the benefit derived of the various intellectual properties owned or acquired by the company and information pertaining to the adverse order and the case detail of the intellectual property rights disputes related to the 10 traditional knowledges they acquired, while the leadership indicator, which emphasizes details pertaining to mitigate any negative and social impact identified in the social impact assessment and details of the benefits of the corrective measures derived of the various intellectual properties owned or acquired by the entity based on the traditional knowledge shared. Besides, it also seek information pertaining to CSR project related to the services and infrastructure building. Well, this slide is exclusively relates and discusses principal line that highlights business should engage with and provide a value to their consumer in a responsible manner, making essential indicators cornered to seek information mechanism in place to receive and respond to the consumer complaint and feedback. Proportion on product and services of environmental and social parameter relevant to the product, safe and responsible usage and recycling and safe disposal of, and the number of consumer complaints received for the data, privacy, advertisement, delivery of the essential services, restrictive and untrade fair practice for previous and the current financial year. While the leadership indicator largely emphasized accessibility, the labeling of the information on the product and services of the company, steps taken to inform and educate consumer, corrective action taken in respect to complaint received and data privacy, advertising and delivery of essential services, and the mechanism placed to inform consumer of any risk of disruptions and discontinuation of essential services. Besides, largely seek information pertaining to consumer survey and result should be narrated in details in the annual report. So today we have come to the end of this presentation. Today we have covered the BRR and BRSR frameworks, highlighting their differences and aligning them with the 9 core principles of business, the ESG framework and the Sustainable Development Goal. Building on this foundation, we have an exciting topic for our next week discussion, that is SEBI's BRSR core formats. So stay tuned for an in-depth exploration